Right, question 5. In circle O, arc CD subtends angle theta. The area of the sector of the circle enclosed by theta is 147 pi tenths inches squared, and theta is 3 pi fifths radians. What is the length of the radius? Okay, so we have the formula when, this is not the up-to-date formula. So we have the formula which was 1/2 theta times r squared. So this is actually 1/2 theta times r squared. Okay, let me double check. Yep, 1/2 theta r squared. Okay, so now we're just going to substitute. So the area of the sector is 147 pi's divided by 10. That's the area. I'm trying to get rid of this A. Okay. And theta is 3 pi fifths. So over here, again, that was multiplication. So we have 3 pi fifths. 3 pi fifths. Okay, now we're simplifying for our radius squared. So we want to end up with some equation that looks like r equals blank. So what we're going to do is, since we have multiplication, we're going to multiply multiply by the reciprocal so that we can create forms of 1. So I'm going to multiply everything by 2 over 1, and I'm going to multiply everything by 5 times 3 pi. The reason I'm writing them right here is because in multiplication you can rearrange the numbers in whatever order you want, and I want them lined up right there so that I can show you how come we're doing that. So again, we multiplied by 2 divided by 1, and we multiplied by 5 divided by 3 pi. The reason being for that is when we reach this, so again, numerator times numerator times numerator, so we would have 5 times 2 in the numerator being multiplied to the 147, and the denominators would be 3 pi times 1 times 10, so we would have 3 pi times 1 times 10. On this half, 2 times 1 is 2, and 1 times 2 is 2, so we would end up with 2 over 2, which reduces down to 1. And then on this half, 3 pi times 5 would be 15 pi. 5 times 3 pi would be 15 pi. So we would end up with 15 pi over 15 pi, which reduces down to 1. 1 times r squared is r squared because it doesn't change its value. So now asking ourselves, well, how do we undo, or what's the inverse operation of a squared? It is a square root. I remember that because squared and square root both have square at the very beginning of them. So we're going to jump over here and use the calculator, and I'm going to type in square root parentheses 5 times 2 times 147 pi. Close those parentheses. That's being divided by, in parentheses, because there's a list of numbers, 3 times pi times 1 times 10. Now I really didn't have to write that multiplied by 1 because 1 times any number is just that number, so it wouldn't really make a difference. So this comes out to be 7. That's going to equal, well, the square root of r squared is r, so we achieved our goal. So this is going to be 7 inches.